Yeah, here we are, end of the week again. Kind of a short week this week because it's December 23rd. And it's Christmas on the day after tomorrow. So tomorrow's a Friday. We usually do movies on a Friday, but we'll get it out a day early this time, maybe. And so we did all right this week. What did I do? New floor pan, mostly new floor pan in the back here. Finished up the work. Anything that was hanging around, I finished up on the back of the car here where I was doing repairs underneath, and then underneath there's repairs for the floor pan. This wall, this side here is done. Isn't that something, hey? And that side there is done. That's something too. That's new. Trunk's all put together, or the boot, as they say. And so now, what else? I have to go next to see this floor side. So this floor side that one there looked worse than this. So that one there is put back together now. And now that's next, and then that's last. Anyway, so another Friday, or another Thursday. Hope you enjoy it all. Stick around, you'll see what happened. Bye for now. Yeah, here I am starting another week, and it's back at it here. Now I've got this, that's pretty hot now, I've let it cool down for a while. So this is the same old thing when you're doing a body panel, you just go around and pulse weld. Zap, 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 about every, half inch or 3/4 of an inch, zap, 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 all the way around, round and round. And then let it cool off for a while until you can sort of touch it with the back of your hand comfortably. I can touch it with the back of my hand, but not for long. So I'll let it cool off for a few minutes, and that'll keep it from, hopefully keep it from warping too badly, like the little warp right there already. I think that's, oh well, I'll have to fix that later. Anyhow, carry on. Yeah, there we go, that's welded in there now, and I'll get the grind, I'll let it cool off for a minute or two and get the grinder to it. Not too hot, not too bad. Yeah, so I blew a hole here when I was going around looking for pinholes. I guess I'd grinded it too much and just blew right through. So I drilled it out and I put one of my little plugs in there, and I'll weld that around and then grind it up some more. Yeah, there we go. That looks better now. It's got the curve on there is pretty close to right, and anything I can just do a little bit of body filler in there to make that come out looking good. Just a little bit of body paste, I guess, or whatever you call that damn stuff. Anyway, I'm happy with that now, for now. Now here's the passenger side, yep, of the car, and this panel here comes from the front all the way back, straight line along there. Now the other side, I've got to put in this patch right here, and then I've got to figure out how to do this and get it straightened out, because I'll show you what's going on over there. It's not quite, things aren't quite the same over here as they are on that side, which is a big surprise, eh? So anyhow, like this thing here has got a little bit of a dent in there, so I'm going to have to build it so that it comes out right here and right to the end. Now, right from here, if you're looking from here right up the car, it's a straight line from this point, but I'll have to do a bit of work on that to make it look good. Then I have to fill in this gap here. That thing there has got to get cut or cut, I think. Yeah, it'll be cut. And then make a new thing here. Now I think, like on the other side, I don't know if you remember way back then, but I had this piece here coming down too low. Can't really see that, can you? This piece here coming down too low, it only should come to about here, because that has to bend in like that. See that? See how that goes in and hits against here. So this piece is wrong. Now what I did in the other side was I cut out a chunk right here, about 1.5 inches of it, and then I just moved it up, and it worked pretty good doing that on the other side. So I think that's likely what I'll do on this side here too. I'll figure that out. Anyway, I'll get at it. The first thing I have to do is I have to let it down, move this lift just over to here. I'll do that on both sides so we're balanced properly. So I've got to get the, got to get something underneath it to hold it. Yeah, there we go. I've got the lift changed over to underneath the frame part there. Now all I did was let it down. I let it down on these jack stands, and they came up against this, and then I was able to let the pressure off of that and move it over. So there, that's all ready to go again, and I'll see if I can get this bit in here made. Don't know what I'll make first. I think yeah, I'll have to make the bit that goes from here down, from too many lights, too many things in my hands. So I'll make the first bit that goes from here, has to go down, and then there's a flange goes in on there. So this has to have some holes drilled in it so I can make spot welds. Anyway, I'll get that now. Yeah, there's task number 1 looked after. I cut out about this much of it. Well, I cut out that much of it right there, about here, and then I just moved it up so that it's got room for to make that hoop at the bottom there. So that looked after. Now the next thing I'll do is this piece in here I cut, whoops, back up here a bit. I cut a bit, I cut a bit more out of that side there. It was dented up pretty badly, and so I'll just make a new piece to go in right there. See if that'll work out all right. Yeah, now here I am back at it. So over here, on this side here, over here on this side here, right? So this has got, there's this part that comes around here. This is original bodywork there. Not much of that left on here. Then this has got a hoopy curve in, and then a little bit of a flattening out and a little bit of a curve back to it in here. So to make that, I've got it, I cut out a piece to fit there, and I put a flange on the bottom like that, so that'll sit in the spot. Now to make these curves so that they look like that idea, I've got this thing here that I built a long time ago, and you just stick this, well, I was going the other way because I don't want such a big curve. You stick that in there and then just give it a little bit of a press. This side stays straight because it's got the flange on it already. Whoops, this side stays straight because it's got the flange on it already, and then you can press on that and put that little bit of a bend up into here. And if it's too much, you can take it out. So like that, that's about where it should be, about there, for that kind of a crown on it. And then down at the bottom here, it comes across flat. So then this, I've got a cutout here. I'm going to cut that to make it fit into the spot, and then I'll see about getting it fitted to the car. Yeah, there we go. That's in. Solid now. I still have to weld it along the bottom here. I've got it so I can spot weld along the bottom in there. Got 2 of them done, but I need to do the rest of them. Now, next piece will be, well, maybe a flange piece down here to make that come out so I can meet it here. Let's see how I have the rest of it done. I'm not sure. I don't remember. I think that's what I did. Don't know for sure. Oh, this one here, I just built the flange into it. So maybe if I can build the flange into it, it'd be the best thing. Because I got to build, yeah, if I build the flange into it, I'll cut that little bit out of there. Whoops, pointing the wrong way. I'll cut that little bit out of there so it's even. Then I'll make this piece, build the flange into it, and I have to build the end on it too, so that it all meets. It's actually kind complex piece, that one. I'll see what I can come up with. Yeah, now I'll make this little tiny piece in here. That's still hot, but that's okay. So I took a piece of metal and I cut it to fit on the outside here, like that. Whoops, looking the wrong way. Cut it to fit here, right? And then I just tagged it on a weld here, and tagged it on a weld there, and tagged it on a weld there. And then I put this piece here, which I've curved a little bit, onto the back so it fit onto the way that the back is. It's got a curve to it. And it's got an angle to it. So now I'll go and I'll just weld this together on the shop bench and weld this together and clean it up, and it'll turn into a little piece that fits right in there. Just like that. See what happens. Yeah, there it is. So now that's put together, a little bit of a curve on that, and I'll just sort of fit it into the, weld it into the spot on the car. See how things look after that. Yeah, there, now, where am I? Here. This piece here, in there, and I just cut the end of it off there. This part here I'm leaving for a while until I get the rest of it figured out. Now I'll see if I can make this piece that goes in here and try and make it look good. Yeah, now I got this piece made and sort of fitted on here. Clamp down below. And then how to get the end piece on, I just take a piece wide enough to make sure it covers the whole thing. And then I put a tack weld there and I put a tack weld there. I'll pull it off and take it to the bench and then cut that in to the right size everywhere. Then I'll worry about getting this end up here fitted properly. Yeah, there I've got that rough on there now. So I cut off all the extra metal, which was quite a bit of extra metal. Now I'll just run a bead along here, and then I'll start grinding that off to a finished work. Yeah, there it is. Now that's in there. It actually fitted not badly at all. So it's covering this back end up where I recut that thing, and it comes down to the flange down here, which I'll cut off later to be a decent length. I still have to do a little bit of repair work right in here. And then I've spotted it along here. I'm not really sure what I'm going to do with that seam yet. If I do it like the other side, make them both look the same. This seam here, I've got it welded along there on that seam. And then that'll be filled, that'll be covered with putty, and it'll be just a smooth thing there instead of that seam. Still thinking about what to do. There's no seam on the front really, so maybe there's no seam in the back either. Won't be the way the car came out of the factory, I don't think, because there was a bit of a, like there was this seam here when it came out of the factory. But I'll make them both look the same. The other side there, I did that first, so this one here can look the same. Anyhow, there you go. Yeah, that's all for today. I'll finish getting that welded in there tomorrow, and I'll decide what to do about that seam. I haven't decided yet. So, see how it comes together. Yeah, there it is. That panel's complete now. And I sort of filled that in and then ground it back out again. And I'll clean it up a little bit more before I finish up with it all. And I'll also clean up down at the bottom here where this thing here, that should only be about this wide and all the way up. But I'll wait till I get the floor in before I start cleaning that stuff in. Now, I think we're back to this one here. You know, this might be the best bit of work I have to do before I have to do mechanical work again. I don't want to put the floor in until such time as I finish the mechanical work. So it's a, you know, it's a catch-22 there because the exhaust system has to go on. So maybe the exhaust system go on and off again. We'll see. There, now I built a little piece in here to be the inner fender bit in there. This bit here and that. And then I've put on this, like, I'll call it a trough for a better word, just to make it fit into this, the rest of this line like that. I'll show you on the other side how I have it built. Just trying to make them kind of somewhat the same. So there's a bit of a trough in here. And then the body line goes back and has that in there, which is all good. There's a couple of pinholes in there I have to fix and then do some grinding. And that one here has got a gape right there that I have to fix. But I'll fix this piece down here. Whoops, where am I pointing? I'll fix this piece down here, build a piece to go in here, and then we'll carry on. Yeah, now there's the finished piece ready to go on back there. I'll show you how it fits on. Hang on. Yeah, so that's where it goes, and here's that little piece in there. Now I have to build a little tiny piece to go in around there and cover all that stuff up. And then this will come down, and there's another piece to put in down here that is has to be, like, I have to build another little tiny piece down there that's a little bit deeper into the wall there. Yeah, there now, that's done and set to go now. So I finished up all that stuff through here, and then I've got that little bit of a hooky thing in there done and blocked off at the end here so that stuff inside the trunk stays inside the trunk. This trunk comes down and falls into here, or the boot. Anyway, next thing I'm going to do is fix up around some of this stuff around here. Like the floor should come down to about this level right here. So I'll start repairing the floor on this side, and then I'll work it towards the front. I'll go about halfway, and I'll leave that front bit. Wait, I'll get underneath here and show you. Oh, there, Barney Rubble. Barney Rubble's been here. So the floor should come down here a bit, and I'll work this back half of the floor I'll fix. Then the front half, which is up there, I'll leave that until such time as I finish, changing the brakes and stuff like that, because it's nice to be able to reach up underneath there without bending over backwards and upside down. On the other side, so once this side's done, then I'll cut up this other side and cut out what I have to there and fix up what I have to there. It's not as bad as this side. Yeah, well, here's some good news. I took off this bracket here, I got that out of the way. And up in here, then I pounded on this a little bit with a hammer, and it was just the last eighth of an inch that was kind of rusted on it, same as over here. And so I took the grinder and ground it back, and it comes back to good steel everywhere in there. So I'm not going to dick with that. That's fine the way it is. It's got lots of strength left in it, and it's original factory stuff, so that'll be good. Now I'll just go ahead and start rebuilding the floor if I can. Floor pan might be interesting to do, but see what I can come up with here. Yeah, so another one of the things I do before I start using here's a brand new sheet. I buy them at Princess's Auto for, like, I don't know how much, but they're 4x2 foot sheets. 4 foot that way and 2 feet that way, is it? I don't know. Maybe I'll measure it. Wait a second, I'll find it. Yeah, there you go. 4 foot by 4 foot. 4 foot that way, 2 foot that way. Anyway, and so before I start using them and cutting them up to use in the car, I clean off so you can see the difference here between the factory finish on this side, and then I sand it off. I just use like the sanding machine and go after it. Doesn't take long to take off the factory finish. You get going from this dull gray stuff to kind of a shiny stuff, and then it's easier to weld that way. Yeah, there I've made the first floor piece to go in. It's about 10 inches long, and this takes it down from where it meets at the back of the car. There's, like, it's got a slant towards the back of the car, then it would flatten out after here. So I'll just cut this line along here, and that should make it so that it fits pretty close to what I've got cut on the car. Then I'll start tacking it together and see what happens. I did make one hoopy thing. It's got a big hoopy thing right down the middle of it all the way. There it is there. Yawn hoopy thing, yep. Yeah, there, that piece is about ready to go in. It needed a little bit of a bend right there to make it follow the body line the way the other side is. And then I'll cut it across, I'll button cut it across the top here in the front. Then I'll get this part here fitted into it. And that part last, we'll figure it out. Yeah, that's where it goes. So I'll cut it along here, cut and butt that and fit it in there. Then I'll cut along here, cut and butt that and fit it in there, I hope. And then finally I'll do this bit here, which I think I'll cut from the bottom side and let it drop in there. We'll see how that works out. Yeah, now there you are. I went down below and I cut that weld that I had put on that side right over there so that I could push that piece down into place, and now it's lining up here. And so now I can cut and butt along here and get that piece into place. So there, now I've put a couple of just tack welds along here to hold that tight, and that tack weld there let go of me, so I'll redo that before I carry on any further. And then I'll just cut it along here. I'll get the camera set up so you can see that happening. Okay, could lift that up a tiny bit there, and right about there is where I want it to be. Anyway, I'll get that sorted out. Yeah, there you go. So you're liable just to get my shoulder here when I'm cutting. We'll see what happens. So I've got a tack weld here, and I've got welded here. I'm going to cut that line right along on there, and then I can push that piece in and weld it. I'll show you how. Yeah, there, I made a mess. I'll be able to fix it, I think. Somehow I didn't get it very well in here at all. I have to just bring it up a bit and do it again. I don't know how I got that all screwed up. Must have taken an extra special effort to get that screwed up like that. It'll be a little bit shorter. Anyhow, I'll turn it off and I'll do it again and I'll show you. So this part right up here is okay. I'm going to put a couple of welds in right here to make it solid and hold. And I'm going to leave that there for now. And then I'll do a little bit more cutting on it, see if I can get it better this time. First off, welding. Just got to weld it to about here. A bit of an extra gap here to fill. Anyhow, that'll hold it together while I get after what I want to do here. So I'm going to try cutting along that line there now and see if I can do a better job of that. I don't know how I screwed up well, I do. I just didn't do a very good job of it. Hey, there you go. So now, see if I can do a better job of that. Still attached. There we go. That's better. It'll weld in there now. So now all I have to do is push that over and it fits up against it tight, and that'll be good. A little bit of fix that up to do here, but I can do that with the welding. I'll show you a bit of the welding and then I'll turn off the camera and carry on. Because it gets kind of boring, but you might be interested. It's what you call pulse welding, where you go and weld just a dab, 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 you know. Dab, dab, dab along until you get to the spot, until you get it to where you can run a little tiny bead on it, just a half-inch bead, then carry on to the next spot. That idea. But first off, I'll get it started up in this end here. And then I need to push it in. There. So that's pretty good. I'll push it in a couple other spots here and get it started up. Whoops, that didn't last. So I'll have to push it in. I think I've been here before, huh? I'll give it a couple of. There, that seems to be a pretty good gap there now. I don't mind that. Now I'll just go ahead and weld that on. Excuse me. I'll turn on the camera again. I'll weld a couple here and then I'll turn on the camera again when I'm over on this side. There, that's a good start on that. So it's welded along there. Now I have to cut this along here, but I'll have to do a little bit of hammer work before I do that, make it fit right. I guess I never did turn off the camera. It's still running, hey? 7 minutes of this exciting stuff. It's a little bit weak in here. I may have to do some more work on there later. For the starters, we're all right. Now I think what I'll do is I'll go underneath and cut it up from underneath, because this part here, I want this lip here has got two, what do you call that? There's this part here plus the old floorboard, so I want to weld it directly to the old floorboard and not to the, I don't want to cut into that lip. That's what I'm trying to say. So I'll shut you off and I'll go underneath and... Yeah, here I am back again. So I went underneath and I cut this little bit off so that it would fit in here better. There's a little bit more of a gap than I like there, but it'll be okay. I'll see if I can get it to come together. So the first spot I want it to come together is right about up here, where this is where the bend happens on the floor. So I'll just push it down so it gets that right there. I'll get a weld in there. That'll hold that down. Then I pull this up a little bit to make it fit to the right spot here. I don't know if you can see any of this. Can't really tell, so I'm just going to use the vice grips to bring it up to the same spot. And I'll put a weld in right there. Sometimes it's hard to tell if it's level. There you go. So I'll get rid of this old piece that I cut out of it here. Maybe. Too much advice, not enough grip, hey? Anyhow, now I'll weld a couple along here just to show you what it's like. And then I'll, first off I have to get this bit here. I need to do a little bit of cutting right there to make that fit down into the spot, right? So it's not quite right there. I'll have to just cut that a little bit. So back to the cutting. Back to the cutting guy. I'll move this out of the way so I don't cut a hole in it. This right here. There, now that falls down into place now. I can take the old piece out from underneath, like there's what comes out from underneath. I think that'll work pretty good. I'll weld a bit and then I'll turn off the camera. Anyway, there's the idea. That's going to be nice and solid floor there now, compared to the burning rubble that used to be. So, I'll shut off the camera and I'll weld it around and then I'll show you when I'm done. Yeah, that's enough for today. Anyway, there you go. That's, you know, I've got lots of welding to do on it still. I'll get that tomorrow and then clean it up and see how things work out, and I'll put in the next pan piece in the back here. So it goes like this level, it goes on this angle down to there and then it levels out and goes across in kind of flat there. Kind of flat, but not 100%. Yeah, so I got a little bit ahead of myself here now. I've got this next piece cut and fitted into place here. It seems to fit pretty nice. I've got to do, well, I'll weld it along here, and then I have to cut this bit here to make that fit together, and cut a little bit there to make that fit together. And then it should, then I have to just make this piece that goes around here and get that fitted in. Then the back, I'll worry about the back. I'll make a single piece to fit in there somehow. So that floorboard will be pretty damn solid. Yep. Yeah, there, that's mostly welded in. The that part right over there, I have to weld it from the underneath. This part here, I welded it from the underneath and it comes out pretty good. So, I'll do that and then I'll figure out how to do this bit here. Now the other side, there used to be a hole right here for drainage or something, but Not going to be there. Not going to be there now. Yeah, now I put an approximate line of where this thing has to come and meet. That wall comes down and meet it. So I'll cut that line out, and then I'll see about making that wall in there and then building the back bit. I might have to move the stand back over to here somewhere. Or maybe I'll just cut that off and make it so that it's got better connection there. There, that's the back half of the floor done. Still have to finish the wall back in there. I've got it all the way around except for that little bit right down here. Just cleaning up a bit, fill in some holes, and everything's in, welded good, and checked for pinholes, and I'll clean it up tomorrow and finish it up tomorrow, I hope. Yeah, so here I am at the back at the back. So I've got this piece in here, pretty ugly welding in there so far, but I'll clean that up. Now I have to build a piece to fill in this back hole here. Now I've got this bottom piece of the floor piece and the side piece built in, so I have to just build a piece here and then a flange coming out so it'll be flanged all the way around. Okay, I'll see what I can do. There, now I made a piece, got a flange on that side, a flange on that side, to go into, I'll show you where. Back here, right in there. That'll fit in there pretty nice. So what I'll do is I'll get it seated in there right, and then I'll sort of cut and butt around the edges here with I've got a small cutting tool. Hope it'll work. Anyway, see what I can come up with. Yeah, there you go. That's the floorboard in. Actually, it looks pretty damn good now. Solid anyhow. So now I'll let the car down, and I have to grind out the top end of it, top side of it. But I think that's a tomorrow job because it's for quitting time today. Hang on. Yeah, that's what it looks like from the top end here. So it's all solid in there. I could jump up and down on that pretty good. Now, that needs to be grinded up inside here. It's pretty ugly looking, but it'll look better when I clean it up. Then the next one is over on that other side over there. Have a look in there. We'll work from the back to the front. So there's that. About half of that has to come out. I think that it's not too bad up towards this end of it here. But we'll see. And there's some rust in here that has to be addressed, but we'll have a look at that later. Now, it's December 23rd. We made some progress this week. It's not Friday, it's Thursday today, but tomorrow is Christmas Eve. And so, got to be going out and seeing family and friends on Christmas Eve. Even though it's COVID, we got to keep our family cohorts down below 10 people around here. Anyway, but that's okay. We'll do that. And we'll come back after Christmas and do some more of this. But that's all for today. Hope you enjoyed it all, and have a very Merry Christmas, and or whatever's going on, have a nice time. Bye for now.